to another of my evening time trials tonight. I don't do all that many of these, and I've done 2 in 3 weeks now, so I'm sort of pushing the boat out a bit here. But this one's an interclub tonight, so it's between Cycle Club Sudbury, my club, and Colchester Rovers. Same old course as before, so I think I estimated 150 times last time. This will be my 151st on that basis. Not an accurate figure. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. It's a little bit breezy, but it's a lovely sunny evening, so it's a sort of pleasure to be out on a bike tonight. A little bit of traffic around, but there's no roadworks, and even 1 or 2 of the potholes have been filled in, which is nice. Anyway, show you what happened. In your standard British time trial, riders start at 1 minute intervals, and so you end up with this line of riders trying to keep themselves out of the road, and then putting their bikes in the road and waiting for their minute to come round. And of course they don't have any choice of when they start, and so you're you're praying that no traffic hits you at just the wrong moment. So this is Nick Webber just about to start, number 8. I was starting on number 10, so I was off 2 minutes behind him obviously, and he catches the bus. So that wasn't too bad actually. It's when it's just behind you or right beside you, you know, that's when it can be a bit of a nightmare, because from a driver's point of view, you're not really expecting the cyclist to suddenly be launched off in front of you. So you know, it's changed a lot in the years I've been doing it. This is David Fenn just starting. As you can see, he gets the classic one of the car that is right beside him, so that must have been a bit of a surprise for the driver as well. And this is my start. I've got a timer on here, so you'll be able to see there are obviously clips that I've used, and you'll be able to see the time that I've completed at each point on the clip. So this start is horribly broken up. The road is sort of fracturing really, and it's a course I've ridden, as I said before, over 100 times, certainly about 150ish, and so it's incredibly familiar. But it's a very, very, very hard start. It's slightly uphill, then it drops a little bit and you start going quite fast, then you hit this drag here after about a mile. It's a really hard course to pace actually. So here I'm just catching David, number 9, David Fenn, just coming up past him as he's sort of cresting a little shallow hill. We don't really do hills in Suffolk obviously, but it's a little shallow hill. So that was the end of that one. There's then a fast descent towards Great Waldenfield, and the surface down there is even worse, as you can see. There's only really one line you can take down this descent now. It's that badly broken. You just have to go down the middle of the lane. Luckily it's fast, so nothing much wants to come past you, but it's far from ideal. As you can see, it was a really, really lovely evening actually. Best of May weather. And here I'm coming up behind Caroline Wyke, who'd started on number 6. This is just coming into the village of Great Waldenfield. It's always a bit heart in mouth going through here. I ride some virtual team time trials. If you don't know about Zwift and you don't know about virtual, probably best to not ask. But I ride virtual team time trials through the winter, and my Dutch and Belgian friends that I ride with can't believe these videos and the nature of the traffic, and the fact, you know, you've got cars that could pull out on you at any time when you're going quite fast. So here I've got a couple of cars, one of which had pulled out in front of me, one of which had just overtaken me, and I'm getting held up at the roundabout. And it's not their fault obviously, but it's just a hazard that you face as roads get busier. When I first drove this course, which was back in 1983, this just didn't happen. You know, you just didn't get this level of traffic. This is approaching the turn. That was Nick just going back the other way. He's already been round the turn. So having started 2 minutes in front of me, I suppose he was about a minute in front of me at that point. And again, it's another one where you're kind of looking at the traffic on the roundabout and thinking, am I going to get away with this? And that van didn't indicate, and so I was just praying that he was actually turning left, which of course he was. And I got away with it. The wind was, I think, a slight headwind on the way out to the turn. There wasn't very much wind at all, though. It actually dropped, despite what I said earlier on. But if anything, it was a tailwind on the way back. And so at this point, I'm now picking up the advantage from the wind. So we've got riders coming the other way there. Obviously, they'd started after me. This is going past Sudbury Airfield, old World War II airfield. It's a very fast stretch. It's usually a tailwind along here. This is back in Great Rolling Field again. Just entering the village, going through that same mini roundabout. This time it's clear for me, so I'm able to go through it at speed. Mini roundabout. It's been there for a few years now, but it obviously wasn't there when I first started to ride this course. And then you could take that corner much more easily and without any great fear. And then with about 2.5 miles to go, you hit this horrible drag out of Rolling Field, heading back towards Lavenham. And again, the surface is just bad on that side of the road as well. And it catches you at just the wrong moment, because you've still got a couple of miles to go, and yet your legs have really had enough by this point, and you have to try and drag that last bit out of them, knowing that you've still got to make an effort over the top of it, and it makes it really quite hard. I was talking to one of the young riders about exactly this, and he said, "Oh, we start too fast." But actually, it's very hard to not do that, to not run out of gas towards the end on this course. That's one of the Colchester Rovers riders I'm just catching there. And then the final rider that I caught was Nick Webber, number 8, who I caught with a mile or so to go. That's him up in front. So I've just closed the 2-minute gap on him by that point, obviously. Put a few more seconds into him between there and the finish. Nick was our 3rd counting rider of 5. I'd have liked to have given him a word of encouragement as I went past, but I didn't really have it left in me, to be perfectly honest, by that point. And then this is the final little drag. It has this final tiny sting in the tail right at the end, up to the finish line. So timekeeper reckon 22:56, but I'll let you judge from my timer. Some good news and some bad news from that, really. The good news is that we got the first 2 places. I was 2nd. My teammate Ian Short won it, so that was quite nice. The bad news is it's a team competition, and it's taken on the first 5 riders, and we lost. So well done to Colchester Rovers. They beat us, and it's the first time we've been beaten in this event for a very, very, very long time. But there we go. It was a lovely evening, good sporting event. Bit of traffic on this course, though, as you probably saw from the video. I got a bit held up. Didn't make any difference to the team result, but it did make a difference to my individual result, and I was 4 seconds off my previous course best. So that hold up that you saw on the video at the roundabout, where the learner driver was driving really well, but just in my way for the time trial. Unfortunately, that made the difference. That undoubtedly made 4 seconds difference. So that would have been a course best. But I'm pretty pleased with that, because, you know, I'm a few weeks short of my 60th birthday, and you know, getting within a few seconds of my best time is obviously quite good. Although it is down to tech, I have to say. It's modern bike tech, which is just superb. And if I hadn't had the camera on, that would have been 4 seconds as well, because of the aerodynamics. So I'm blaming that too. Anyway, try again next time. I've had 2 of my fastest ever times on this course now so far this year, so it's going to happen soon.